Welcome to Under Two Capes. I'm Jared, and I'm here with Nick from the Phoenix Press. What's up, brother?
Hello there.
Now, one of the most popular topics to talk about on Comics League is Jon Kent's Superman. Not for the reasons you would think. It's all the reasons why I talk about how horrible he is. So, now, I talked about the problems with the character, why Tom Taylor does not get the character, which is hilarious considering he wrote Jon Kent in Deceased, and that was perfect. But now we're going to talk about, now, to improve the character, the #1 suggestion that so many people give me in the comments is DH him. So, I brought on my fellow comic scholar, and we're going to talk about ways that DC could get away with de-aging Jon Kent.
Let's get the silly answer out of the way. De-aging Ray.
Yeah, you know what? That's like so super friends. But honestly, the first thing I could see is since that he aged up because he was stuck in Earth 3 for so long, just have it be that's the Earth 3 Superboy sent to infiltrate Earth.
I mean, what you could do is, you could say the energy that was used to age him, he has to give up for a heroic reason, and that's what de-ages him back to like 11 or 12 years old.
Well, actually, I don't think it was actually energy that shot him that aged him up. I think it was just he was in Earth 3 for years, his time. That's what I'm saying.
You could always pull a Dark Phoenix and say, "Oh, this was a clone. This was a clone that like it put the real one in suspended animation. The real one, the 12-year-old's been suspended animation all the time. This other one, like I have a feeling that they're gonna pull a Dark Phoenix."
Yeah, or it's like he, Jon Kent was put in carbon freeze, and he's like this.
I mean, if they really wanted to like disrespect Tom Taylor's run, that's what they could do and say, "Oh, all the reasons why he was like this, wasn't really him. It was a clone by Cadmus Labs, and they've had the real one here, frozen in white kryptonite or something."
Well, yeah, it would involve some version of kryptonite. Maybe it would have indigo kryptonite, not just de-ages characters. That'd be hilarious.
No. If this was like SJW Marvel, it'd be like, no, he was stuck in rainbow. No. This version of Jon Kent was exposed to rainbow kryptonite.
Oh wow, that's
okay,
good. I had to do that.
I earned that.
That's good. But that would be something more I could see Marvel doing. But it's like, that's the first way I could see it happening. Another way would be like, again, a de-aging Ray. As comic booky and stupid as that sounds, honestly, would you really be surprised if that happened in a comic book?
I mean, it is a comic book. I mean, you can't get, I mean, it's a comic book. I think they're allowed to get a little bit comic booky. I mean, it's literally comic books.
Exactly. So really, it wouldn't really surprise me on that. But let me ask you this, Nick. Say you were in charge of de-aging Jon Kent. How would you do it?
Honestly, I'd probably pull a Dark Phoenix. As much as I mocked it earlier, it's just the easiest way of doing it. You know, I mean, short of, because there's like, honestly, all the other ways are just so freaking messy, you know, just to say, hey, this Jon Kent we had, and then you have a whole nother character, you know, this Jon Kent, now you have Jon Kent and Jon Kent Prime, if you will, and Jon Kent
Prime,
the one that wins all the versus arguments.
Yeah, the one that punched reality and brought Jason Todd back to life by punching reality. Yes, that is a thing. The way I would do it...
Oh my god, I'm getting flashbacks to that one Twitter conversation about like Wanda and like, oh my god, please no.
Yeah. what I would do, I have a full story in mind. So what I would do is I would make it so, okay, so for those of you that don't know, when Infinite Frontier first popped off, they were sort of hinting that Jon Kent was going to become a dictator, which, hey, that would have been really cool. So what I would do is I would make it so that happens. And this all happens during the War World saga when Clark is on Earth, is on War World being He-Man. So he looks like He-Man. So So,
well, he does have the power, so
yeah, he has all the powers, but eventually, so Superman comes back to Earth, and he sees his son has become like a dictator. So naturally, he has to fight his son. That's the way it's going to work. I think you can get some good conflict in that. But then when he finally knocks out the sun reverts back to that Matrix Supergirl alien. So it was a shapeshifter the entire time, meant to weaken Earth's defenses from Earth 3.
Okay, one small change.
Mm-hmm.
When he punches it, it's a cyborg, and it's Hank Henshaw created another cyborg Superman, except he took the place of Jon Kent and has been masquerading as him. That's what I would do, because that way that ties it into Justice Man. It's like Hank Henshaw, whatever. That's what I would do, because you can get like the whole punching him, and it's like, oh my god, my son. Wait, what? And it's just like you get the whole jaw thing, you know.
Mm-hmm. It's like half the head becomes a robot, like in Terminator. And he's like, well, you're not.
Because you got that classic Superman thing where like the lower jaw is like cyborg and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually a fantastic way to do it with Cyborg Superman. But if I had to plug it into Earth 3, I would really make it. I would essentially do a modern version of that New 52 event called Forever Evil, where the crime syndicate invades, and this is the first stage of the invasion. Mm-hmm. And then you have a final fight that's Superman versus Ultraman, and it's Superman not holding back because of what Ultraman did to his son. So he basically becomes Superman in the Snyder Cut against Steppenwolf.
And then Ultraman goes like this.
Yeah, and then it turns out.
I'm sorry, if you're a Tokusatsu fan, you get the reference.
I don't, but then it gets it, and then you also have an homage to Man of Steel, where he's like, "You think you could mess with my son?"
Hey, I'll allow it.
Yeah, and he's like, and it's essentially like, and then that's basically the way I would sort of, I would do it, and then I would make it obviously a big event perpetuated by that, and then the next Superman event is the search for Jon Kent, and then Superman going throughout the multiverse trying to find his son.
Okay.
Now, okay, would DC actually do this? Now, yes, I think. Here's why. Because of the way the leadership is now restructuring, and it seems like they're focusing on the characters that sell. It could be they're like, first off, get Jon Kent away from being Superman. We only have one Superman. That's the first thing I think will happen eventually.
I think at most, Jon Kent is going to become Superboy.
Mm-hmm. He'll be like, I'm not worthy to have this mantle.
Yeah, so I think he's going to become Superboy. Mm-hmm. And probably join Teen Titans. You know, is Connor Kent still around? Is he still running around?
Yeah, but he's in that stupid Bendis jacket. No, it worked for the time period it was established in. In the modern comics, it doesn't work, particularly with that combined with the hair. If it were just the jacket, then yeah, I could go with that. But it's with the hair too. It just looks dumb. There's a reason why let me put it this way. There's a reason why they abandoned that look. Hey, I like the t-shirt and jeans from Young Justice.
I mean, t-shirt and jeans are cool. Don't get me wrong. Plus, you rock that cosplay, by the way.
Thank you very much. Exactly. Nolan North thought so too. Just letting you know. But
well, if Nolan North says it, then it must be true.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, that's. Actually, here's the thing. It's not even Superman and Superboy. It's Connor Kent versus the clone Jon Kent, because he feels like you're not worthy to have the mantle of Superman because you're not Superman. And in terms of the kid becoming a dictator, he goes, no, you are not Superman. And then it turns into a war, kind of like when Prime fought Superboy in Infinite Crisis.
I mean, that could be a good story if Clark's out of the equation.
And the last issue, when Jon Kent's about to take out Connor, his fist comes down, and Clark comes out and catches the fist and just goes, "That's enough.
I won't have my boys fighting."
Yeah, there you go. That actually works really well.
Because that's such a good line. Because I said I won't have my boys fighting, which says both Connor and Jon are equal in his eyes.
Yeah, because I always thought he considered Connor like an adopted son. Well, he does share half his DNA.
I mean, that's how I see it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, whatever.
And you can see this battle of the Superboys is happening, and Batman's just polishing his kryptonite rings.
It's like whoever wins, I'm gonna put a ring on it.
Yeah, he turns into that picture of Hal Jordan when he became Parallax with all the Green Lantern rings. He's got like every knuckle has a kryptonite ring. Or he breaks out the Justice Buster armor from like the new 52 Scott Snyder run where he fought the Justice League.
I just want to see like that kryptonite spear put into the comics.
Oh yes, that'd be great. It's like, you know, he throws it like Leonidas. How would Wonder Woman play into this, do you think? I would imagine actually if Clark's off of Earth right now, I would imagine Bruce would go to her first to like break up the fight because she's like, short of Superman, she's the strongest on the Justice League.
My feelings are Wonder Woman is more powerful than either Superboy on their own.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, even Jon Kent, he's still half a Kryptonian.
Yeah. That's why it makes no sense when Tom Taylor tried to make it like he's stronger than Superman. I'm like, diluted Kryptonian DNA is not stronger than pure Kryptonian DNA. Sorry.
Yeah, he's not Gohan.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's just funny just because like all the parallels and whatnot. But like I view Connor and John really on similar power levels because they're both half Kryptonian.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. And Wonder Woman, while not as powerful as Superman, I feel is probably more powerful than a half Kryptonian, though not by too much. Yeah,
exactly. So that's why I think she would be the first, beyond the fact that she's in the Trinity, and so they all have a special like trust relationship in there. So Bruce would go to her first and say, "You have to intervene because right now this isn't working. You know, or right now they're going to destroy the Earth."
See, here's how I see it: and either Superboy versus Diana. Diana would win easily. For two reasons. One, she's like at least a half or a full tier stronger. Also, combat training. She is infinitely more experienced.
Yeah, exactly.
But the problem is, both of them at the same time, breaking up the fight might be difficult for her because, like, she's trying to juggle the weight of basically. Because the thing is, if you combine both of them, they got the full strength of Superman.
Yeah.
So she's trying to like. She can't really. She can, like, in arm wrestling contest, she can beat one of them. But if you have both of them, you know, like she's trying to do like this, that would be really hard for her. Like if not impossible. And
then you could see like Jon Kent, like at the moment when Wonder Woman is like weak, holding it back, Jon Kent like knocks Wonder Woman out, and that further enrages Connor. Because Connor is the good Superboy in this analogy.
I mean, the only really way to do it is if you have Batman with the kryptonite ring, you have to separate them. Because if you separate them long enough because if you separate, you know, have Batman face one of them, you know, which he could, you know, if he has a kryptonite ring or two, you know, he could probably...
He breaks out the BVS armor.
Tell me, Connor, do you bleed?
No, here's what happens. Here's a great story for this. So Batman has the spear and the ring. And he's using the spear as a last resort because he knows if he uses the way he's going to use that spear is that it's a killing tool. Yes, Batman kills, okay, people? But so he's saving that for like the very last resort because at this point, they're going to destroy the Earth. And when Diana gets knocked out, that's when Bruce says, okay, break out the spear, Alfred.
You know, but Superman debuts a new armor, the Super Buster armor, which is kryptonite powered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so like it's an entire
kind of like an Injustice 2.
So it's an entire suit of armor that's powered by kryptonite. So like a Superman character really can't punch him that well because like it just radiates kryptonite. Like it radiates kind of like a kryptonite field where if a super character gets close to it, they get weakened just by being near it.
Yeah,
each knuckle is like a piece of kryptonite.
Yeah, you know? and it would turn into like BVS when like Clark threw that punch and Batman just stops it and goes, "Men are brave."
Oh, like the bracers, like the bracers have like a strip of kryptonite on them, you know. Oh, also instead of steel-toed boots, he has kryptonite toe boots. Like the heel of it has kryptonite on it, so he can like put his foot up You know.
Now, here's the thing. I don't want Batman to straight up like 100% resolve this. So we have to figure out a way for Batman to be like at least knocked out of the equation, because obviously if he has so much kryptonite, yeah, he's gonna destroy Jon Kent.
Well, in my scenario is Wonder Woman and Batman are teaming up. Batman is more just a delaying tactic. That's all he is.
Yeah.
Is to separate the two of them so that Wonder Woman can knock one of them out, and then she can go on to the next one. It's more just Batman's not there to win. Batman's not there to like knock either of them out. He's just there to keep one of them busy long enough for Wonder Woman to take one of them out, and then she can work on the other. That's the scenario that I construct. But
I just got a great idea. Here's how Batman gets knocked out. His stuff gets sabotaged because Jon is currently dating I think a terrorist that has a skill with computers. So what if Batman's tech gets hacked by Jay? Because in my version of the storyline, Jay is manipulating Jon to become the dictator, or the evil Jon, as we're calling him. So in other words, that's how we fit in Superboy's boyfriend into this.
Okay, all right. I'm modifying my scenario where the armor gets hacked, and Jon's like, "What are you gonna do now?" I don't have to do anything. I was just here to delay you. And all of a sudden, Wonder Woman just leaps into frame in the background. You see Connor Kent, he's out cold.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sorry, you gotta admit,
hang on.
That would be a great series of panels.
It would, but would Wonder Woman really have to knock out Jon Kent? I mean Connor Kent, because he could just say, "Back, breathe. We will handle this." Because I think Connor Kent's a little more level-headed in this scenario than Jon Kent. Because remember, Connor Kent's a good guy.
Yeah, okay. So scenario is Wonder Woman is talking to Connor Kent. If anyone can talk Connor down, it's Wonder Woman. She's
a diplomat and all that stuff. Yeah, exactly. And plus, they know that.
And plus, Connor trusts her. Like Wonder Woman's like, Connor's not the bad. So basically, Batman is just engaging Jon, and you see Connor. He's just kind of standing back there, where he's like, "All right, I'm not, you know."
He's like, "All right, I'm good. You guys handle this. Hell, you guys probably could handle this a lot better than I can. You're the Trinity."
Warner would be like, "We know why you're doing this. We understand it. We respect you for doing this. But please back off. Let us handle it." He's like, "Okay, fine. I trust you. You know, whatever." And then he's like, "I wasn't supposed to stop you. Just delay you." And then Wonder Woman.
And then Wonder Woman comes in.
The next page, you see
100%, dude. That is the most badass way to bring in Wonder Woman into battle Jon Kent I could have come up with. That's perfect.
Plus, you got to admit that is very much a Batman thing.
I was about to say that is the most Batman line to say. He's like, or he goes,
I wasn't supposed to defeat. Like, you really think you could defeat me, Batman?
And then Batman says, "Wait,
just delay you."
No. And Batman says, "No, she's supposed to."
No, I was never supposed to delay you. And then you see Wonder Woman jump in and says, "She is."
Yeah, there you go. That 100% works. And we can make it so he's actually real. That Jon Kent's a little more powerful, so he does like sort of knock out Wonder Woman, because the end goal is for Clark to show up, because at this point, this is when Clark is returned to Earth, so Clark can essentially defeat his son.
All right, so if we're going to continue with the scenario, let's say Jon is basically, he's pissed off, and you know when Kryptonians, they get pissed off, they get a bit of a power boost.
Yeah.
You know, so he's fighting Wonder Woman, he overpowers her, and he starts, you know, kind of wailing on her, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then right as he's about to do, like, the last punch that locates, you know.
The fist is caught, and he's like, "No, that's enough."
Or what it is, it's like, you know, catch the punch, and you see, like, Superman's cuffs.
Yeah.
You know? And then the next page is like I'm sorry, I'm writing this comic as I'm thinking of.
No, it's fantastic. Actually, here's the thing. End the issue on the cuff. And then the next issue is Superman's back.
No. You end the issue. You catch the thing. You see Superman say, "That's enough." Then you end.
Yes, yeah. That's way better. And then the next issue
you show Superman is here and that he's stopping the fight, and that's where you end the issue.
And then the next issue is it starts off what I would imagine is an actual like verbal argument between Clark and Jon that they've honestly had in the comic, because there's plenty of times when Jon has told Clark, how come you didn't do more to like ensure people are safe? In other words, Jon is going to the extreme. He's essentially becoming Injustice Superman. And that's kind of the way that I would see that going. And then eventually the Son like starts wailing on Clark, and then it gets into this whole like Superman v Doomsday like battle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I love how he basically wrote a whole event. We can call it War of the Supermen.
No, War of the Superboys.
Okay, yeah, you know what I was trying to like to homage to, right? Reign of the Supermen. But War of the Superboys does work, I guess. Yeah, for an event. Yeah.
No. I got the perfect name.
Go.
Boys will be boys.
Yeah, if you just wanted to like have a funny title, that works too. I still vote like Reign of the War of the Supermen, because
the problem is this is not a War of Supermen. It's a War of Superboys.
So yeah, that's true.
That's the problem. The title doesn't fit. So you must have quit.
Okay, yeah, that works. Okay, I object to my own question.
Because you're doing a battle of Superboys. So like the Superman title, if it's like Jon Kent versus Clark, then you can have the War of the Supermen. But if you have Connor, who is who has never been who is a Superboy, not really Superman. It's more of a Superboy battle, not necessarily a Superman battle. So, like, title-wise, I you know.
Yeah.
Boys Will Be Boys is more of, like, if you're trying to go for more of a fun vibe. But if you're trying to go for more something, you know.
And then, during the fight, it turns out that that the person that sent this Jon Kent has been behind like we linked the Bendis Superman era to this event and make it so this is when everything is undone. Like all this was like the doing of like Earth 3 to like sabotage Superman.
I like it. Print it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like eventually they're like, okay, so it's like revealed that like maybe it was Mr. Mxyzptlk or like or like Darkseid even, because we could make it where all of a sudden they're fighting Jon Kent and then Jon Kent starts protruding Doomsday bones. And then Superman's like, what?
No, it was done by an evil manipulator named Kendis.
Yes, Kendis.
He's a failed hack writer who got a hold of a Book of Destiny.
Yeah, exactly. And he went, and he's only known for like doing a sort of ultimate book for a different publisher or something like that. Okay, but our point is that this will lead to the dissolution of anything Bendis Superman, including the trunks, because it doesn't work anymore. Including, because here's the thing, I get the strongman reference, but the underwear being on the, if it was just the underwear, in other words, if it was like him bare chested with the cape and then the underwear, yeah, that's fine. But it's outside his pants. That's the part that looks stupid.
Well, that's kind of a holdover from like the classic days. Do you know why that's always been in the designs?
It's the strongman reference, right?
Yeah, because those are like a reference to the strongmen of the 30s. And that's why you still saw a lot of comic characters of the Golden Age have that design, because that's the imagery they were trying to evoke, was the strongmen of that era.
Yeah, but you don't need that anymore. So really, ultimately with modern audiences, it just looks stupid. That's why like the new 52 and Rebirth until Bendis didn't have it, because you don't need it anymore. It doesn't add anything to the character. The worst part is when Bendis wrote Action Comics 1000, they had people actually notice, oh, Superman's wearing the underwear on the outside of his clothes now again. So I'm like, who cares?
The only way that I could think of like incorporating it is like, let's say you had like a Superman, he had like a homemade costume. Like basically he was wearing like red basketball trunks or like swing trunks, and then kind of more like a runner's leggings that are blue beneath that.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like that, like if you're going for a homemade costume, sure, that would probably be fine. But like actually incorporating it into the fabric to where it's part of the fabric design, it's not another item of clothing. And if you're gonna do it, it has to be some sort of like trunks. So you can't do the bikini briefs anymore. You know, like I could see, like I could definitely see, you know, using like some sort of like basketball or runner shorts or even biker shorts, even, you know, another article of clothing just to break up the colors. You know what I'm saying? So instead of being like, instead of the legs being solid blue, you got like that little bit of red. It kind of makes it a little more interesting of a design.
I want to share my screen real quick because this was a April Fool's joke that DC played where, okay, so it was actually April Fool's, and they announced that all of the superheroes were going to wear trunks.
I mean, Batman has had trunks in the past.
Look at this. It's like, yeah, he has, but look, Cyborg, Aquaman, The Flash, Green Lantern has white trunks.
The Batman, like, I don't know.
No, again, that's the thing. Everyone now sees this as a joke because really it is. Because I'm like, okay.
It's a holdover from another time.
It's a holdover from another time that worked in another time.
That is the most generous way of putting it, honestly.
Yeah, okay. Now, back to the story. The way I could see this ending is like they have the epic battle throughout like Metropolis through Smallville. It's like they keep punching through each area of the world, and then eventually they go into space and they come back down, kind of like in Man of Steel. And they can even do homages to the Man of Steel fight with like Superman going like zooming in, punching, zooming out, zooming in, punching. And then I think it would end with like maybe like eventually he hits Superboy so hard that like the face comes off and you see like the robot, or like it turns into that little it turns into that like Matrix character, or like somehow he lets it slip that's like Earth 3. And then he's like, if you kill me, you'll never find out what happened to your real son. And then Superman just stops.
And he reveals himself to be Ultraman.
Ultra Boy.
Ooh, I like
because
that.
It's the Earth 3 Superboy, and Ultraman still is in the Earth 3. And it's like, this is the lead-in to like an event where the crime syndicate invade, kind of like Forever Evil. We'll call it like Crime Invasion or something like that. Or like Trinity Invasion. But no, there's no other thing to be a Trinity.
Crime
pays.
I was trying to do like Crime Wave, but like Wave of the Crime Syndicate or something.
War of the Crime?
No.
Or Crime? Crime War? Yeah, but
turf wars.
I like that. And then ultimately it would turn into kind of like, what was that Batman event when the criminals divided Gotham into their territories?
No Man's Land?
Yeah, it would basically turn it into No Man's Land with each of the crime syndicate having their own segment of the world. And then it's like the actual Justice League members are in hiding. And then it's like Superman's trying to he's trying to first reassemble the League. And he's trying to find out what actually happened to his son. And then he gets like hints that like the son's like frozen in kryptonite in like the crime syndicate's fortress.
You're coming very close to creating a new timeline. So be very careful. Because like also this almost sounds like do you remember Old Man Logan?
Yeah.
Do you remember part of the plot was like the villains finally teamed up and they carved up the United States?
Yeah.
So you could do a similar storyline.
I'm taking inspiration to that. Yeah, exactly.
Where like the villains win, or that could be the crime syndicate world, really, where or like another Earth, you know, like Legion of Doom kind of thing. Where they finally won, and this is the Earth ruled by the villains, and there are no heroes. Maybe there's a few of them kind of running around, you know. Like That would actually, like, you're talking a whole new universe here. So,
and
like,
then it ends. The way I would end it is have Jon Kent defeats Ultraman as like a final like cathartic experience, saying, "You've tortured me for years. I'm gonna beat the crap out of you." And then he like completely savages Ultraman. And then it's sort of, and then you have like essentially the rebuilding phase where like everything goes back to normal, except then you could have like the crime syndicate characters show up and like minor books to act as like little antagonists. Like you could have Superwoman versus Wonder Woman. You can even have Superwoman taunt Diana about her obvious attraction to Superman, because in Earth 3, Superwoman and Ultraman are a couple, so it could be like, well, at least on my world, I recognize strength or something like that.
Oh, that could be okay. So what if Ultra Boy, which is in this scenario is the current Jon Kent, that would make him half Kryptonian, half Amazon.
Yes, dude.
So that would mean he's probably stronger than Diana.
Yeah,
because like Amazon's, like the Amazon portion, and you could also maybe even say he's even stronger than Superman, because the Kryptonian DNA mixing with the Amazon DNA makes something that's even stronger than a Kryptonian.
Yes, that makes sense, and that explains how he's like able to knock Wonder Woman out in the beginning of the beginning of our story.
And then it's revealed that this Ultra Boy has the potential to be even stronger than Superman.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like, but he kind of still has the weakness to kryptonite, which is how Batman has the suit and everything. And then eventually, in other words, I would see like all the different crime syndicate members maybe show up in like their counterparts books, like again, Superwoman with Wonder Woman, and then again, it would be like. Essentially, also another interesting point to like torture Wonder Woman. I know I'm horrible, but it would be like, because one of the things that Wonder Woman's always wanted is children. So that's another thing that Superwoman like taunts her with.
Oh, it's imagine like it's like, I'll never have. I just want like a situation where Ultra Boy says, "I am your son."
Yeah, that would be interesting. I love that.
Or as a way to mess with her, it's like, one more punch and you kill your son. She's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then it's revealed that like it's not her son, but it's like the other universes. He's the son of Wonder Woman.
Of like Superwoman. Yeah, exactly. That would work. And yeah, that's 100%.
Like you said you wanted to F with Wonder Woman. I just gave you something on a platter right there.
Exactly. Or and then she also says, "At least I'm a real person and not made of clay." And then this would eventually lead to Superman and Wonder Woman becoming a couple because they hate Lois Lane, and that's that. I think I made that pretty obvious. The comics Lois Lane is annoying.
That the version that you're familiar with, maybe, but not all time.
Yeah, all time. If you look at the things, ultimately, she doesn't work. She's only been kept around because of nostalgic fans that throw a fit.
Okay, you do realize that the version we got in BVS is the more typical version, right? Because as a Snyder fan, like
debatable,
like I've been around a while, and like the version of Lois we get is usually more often that version where she cares about Superman, blah blah blah. You know, like I mean, look at Superman the Animated Series. I mean, that one she doesn't really go there. Like even Smallville, where she starts out as aggravation, but she becomes really supportive of Superman. It's like we see the same story beats with Lois play out time and time again because that's the usual story beats for Lois. And
yeah. I mean, let me put it this way. There have been versions that have done her well, like Zack Snyder, because all hail Zack Snyder. And in terms of Smallville, yeah, 100%. There have been versions that do Lois Lane right. I'm just saying there's been, at least in my opinion, more versions that don't do it right. Like, here's the thing.
Let's save this for another stream. I think this is
a good idea. That's a good idea.
This is a stream topic in and of itself. We could have a debate about Lois Lane. I could be pro Lois Lane. You could be anti. We'll have a good discussion. I think that's a topic for.
That's a good idea. Actually, we're definitely going to do that. So be on the lookout for that. So back to the topic. Now, where do you think Lois Lane is during this whole storyline of like the crime syndicate taking over and stuff? Speaking of Lois Lane,
I don't know. I want to say
I got it.
under.
Ultraman has her like strung up as a trophy to mess with Superman.
Ultra Boy does it.
Ultra Boy does it. Yes, exactly.
And she's not dead, but she's like, you know, being crucified and whatnot.
Not really crucified, but she's like, because
she's being kept alive on the barest of threads.
Yeah, exactly. In other words, she's like dehydrating and all that stuff, but she's not like gonna die in the storyline.
She's like, Superman, I kept her alive. You know, you are the bearer of hope. I kept her for one reason. And he snaps her neck and says, to take it away.
Yeah. Oh no. Here's how it happens. They capture Superman and have him like on his knees, like chained up, like Aquaman was in the movie, and then he snaps her neck right in front of him.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like,
yeah,
you know, you are the bearer of hope for everyone. I've kept her alive for one reason.
So you could see this. Yeah.
To take that hope away, or to take it away, whatever, depending on how vague or whatever you want to get.
Yeah, because trust me, can you imagine the amount of like discussion that would come out from the death of Lois Lane?
Oh,
the amount of discussion and sales, the death of Lois Lane. Dude, I'm telling you, and that would work. And I'm telling you, there's good ways that they could do this, still be respectful of Lois Lane, but also do it in a way where it actually is really cool.
Yeah, I think an evil Jon Kent storyline needs to be done, but I'm afraid they won't do it because he's like this gay icon, and it's like the people freak out, the people who don't buy the books anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Well, by the way, I know Tevye is going to crucify me in the comments for saying Lois Lane needs to die. Hey, Tevye, if you're watching this, it doesn't preclude a Super Sons revival. It just means that Lois Lane won't be in the book. That's it. You can still have the Super Sons.
I mean, I'm okay with killing Lois Lane, but it's got to be a good story.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm not saying
you
just
have a good story, and it's got to be a good moment. It's like if you're gonna kill her, at least make it a good reason why, and make it a good story.
I'll tell you what, I'll do one even better. If we don't go with like she's deliberately killed, she sacrifices herself to like save the day.
I can't think of a scenario, but sure.
I'm willing to give her a good out, and I'm not saying just go ahead and just have Ultraman just go. No, I'm saying actually give her like a solid send off, and then we keep her dead for like a while. And then what this could show is that you could see a version of Superman that recovers from the loss of Lois Lane and doesn't turn into an evil dictator. Because so far we've only had Lois Lane dies and Superman goes on this brooding trip and then eventually becomes a dictator.
Okay, and then here's the next storyline. Her body gets taken to Cadmus Labs, and because she's been exposed to like Kryptonian whatever, her body is somehow able to take Kryptonian DNA into her. So they splice her genes with Kryptonian genes of Supergirl's, and Lois becomes half Kryptonian.
What is up with that?
I'm just spitballing here, bro. I'm just whatever comes into this beautiful little brain of mine, it's just coming right back out. So
I could see that. I could also see them reviving the new 52 Superman Wonder Woman book.
That'll get some talks.
Yeah, and they could do it in a way, and it would be like, okay, so Clark. It starts off like Clark goes to Diana to help raise the newly freed Jon Kent because she knows how to raise, how to help someone with power. She did it with Kara in like any like time that like Supergirl showed up. She's been trained by Wonder Woman, so she knows how to train people with powers. Then eventually this leads to like Superman and Wonder Woman like becoming closer.
Yeah.
There's a way to do this right. So that's all I'm saying. There's a way to do this in a way that you can make you can make both sides kind of happy. And then you bring back like Kryptonian Lois Lane because that's actually a solid idea. I would so watch that.
Yeah, it would be definitely be interesting.
Now, okay. So and then we have the way the story would end, and then he frees Superboy, and then it's like it's Superboy, but it's the 10-year-old Jon Kent that everyone loves, and that Bendis for some reason the idiot. Oh, by the way, I'm also going to make it so somehow time travel gets brought in, and then they erase the Superman revealing his identity to the world because that was stupid, Bendis.
All right, but I still want an evil like Jon Kent Ultra Boy.
That's a staple of the story.
I want to separate the characters. That like the goal of the story is not to erase Jon Kent, but to at least separate the characters.
Yes, 100%. That's the goal. Then you can have Jon Kent,
because you could very well have a storyline where sure it's the crime syndicate version where he's Ultra Boy and he's the son of Wonder Woman and whatever, but then he maybe has a change of heart, and so now you have, and then you call him Ultra Boy, and now he's on the main universe. He can still be gay. Congratulations, you just created a whole new character. He's Ultra Boy. He's not Superboy. He's Ultra Boy. And he has an interesting lineage. He's still gay or whatever, and those people can be happy. But now he's like, it's just a perfect.
And what they can do, they can make a redemption arc. He devotes himself to trying to make up for the damage that he did, and that's a fantastic way to make this character likable.
Yeah, and it's like he does some stuff to save people. Wonder Woman kind of becomes his adopted mother.
Yeah.
Because she, in her mind, because she always wanted kids. It's like, I may not be your universe's mother, but you're still my son in a weird sort of way. So I'm gonna look after you, kind of thing.
You still technically are the son of Wonder Woman.
It's technically the same person, just different universes. So even though it didn't slide out, it's still kind of thing. So she feels some sort of emotional connection, responsibility. So she adopts him, takes him, and then you can get all these stories. And honestly, I think that would be a cool dynamic, honestly, where you have a Kryptonian and have him, and you could have it be where he has the potential to be stronger than Superman because he has Amazon DNA.
Well, because he has Amazon DNA. Now it makes sense.
Yeah, and you could have Wonder Woman be his adopted mother in a weird sort of way. And that would be a really cool dynamic. And he's all, it's like, It's like he doesn't want to be evil anymore, but he has he's a person of two worlds. Like honestly, at this point, you could have him train on Themyscira because he's a son of Themyscira, so they give him an exception.
Yeah,
plus with him being, it's almost like it's like allowing a gay guy at your all female sleepover.
Well, but here's the thing. Also, he's the son of the queen. So. It's kind of like the rules kind of change when it's the son of the queen.
Yeah, like they're gonna accept for him. Like he's like, okay, you're allowed to be here, but like but they also kind of separate him a little bit. Like he's not really allowed to be in private with anyone but his mother.
Mm-hmm. No one trusts him still because they know his origin, they know his story.
Also, he's still like, but it's a situation of like. You may be the son of our queen, but you're still a man. You're a man from man's world, and you're now in woman's world, and we will never trust you. And so like the only time he's allowed to be alone with a woman is when he's with his mother.
Yeah, that works. And it's like his whole storyline for the next couple of arcs could be him trying to earn the trust of the world, both Themyscira and the general DC world.
Yeah, because like the thing about it's like. The Amazons will never trust him fully on Themyscira, but they might respect him. Like okay, you're a good guy, but you're still a man, and we can't really So like he'll forever be kind of an outcast in that area, but he'll be respected and tolerated. Like it'll be like he's walking around the streets and people are okay with it, but like they don't allow him in their homes, kind of thing.
People still look at him with fear.
And you could have a cool storyline where he starts to fall in love with one of the Amazons, and it's like, oh no, because like he's getting in love with her, he gets in trouble.
And then I just want a scene where he interacts with Connor Kent's Superboy, and Connor Kent's like, don't feel so bad about you. You have a mean right hook. or something like that. I just want that, I just want that piece of dialogue in there somehow. That'd be so good.
Yeah, I just want to see like Ultra Boy join like Teen Titans or Young Justice or whatever with like, oh, you're like you're this former bad, because like the Teen Titans have a history of taking in former bad guys anyway.
Yeah.
So,
and honestly, that would be a good idea. I could see Wonder Woman and Superman telling him to join the Teen Titans because it's a good idea for him to hang out with other heroes.
I got a story. So he asked to join the Teen Titans. They say no, but then Rose Wilson says, "You guys allowed me in, and both me and my father tried to kill you on numerous occasions,
and I betrayed you multiple times."
Like, I just want to see Rose. Like, Rose Wilson would be the one to speak up. You know what I'm saying?
And like she's his mentor on the Teen Titans.
And then they get together.
Yeah, okay. If you want to stay with the whole that Jay was the spy trying to manipulate Jon Kent, which that's a better storyline anyway, and that's what everyone thought the storyline was going to be.
So you're getting like a new Judas contract storyline, basically.
Yes, honestly, that's actually a great idea. And then we have a time, the defining moment of Ultra Boy would be he has the opportunity to like Ultraman invades or like Ultraman breaks out and like and then Ultra Boy actually dies fighting Ultraman to a standstill, kind of like the death of Superman. And that's when he's seen now as a hero and not a villain anymore. Kind of like in the Snyderverse, where humanity accepted Superman after he gave his life for them after fighting Doomsday.
So I have a name for this new storyline: the Judas Pact.
Hey!
Well, I was just looking up. I looked up contract, and then I did this up the Thoris, and I saw pact. Like, yeah, that works. It's because like so that way it's like clearly communicating. Or yeah, this is a sequel to the Judas contract, but it's not the same storyline.
Or if you didn't want to use Judas at all, you could say 30 pieces.
Honestly, well, it's 32 pieces of silver.
Well, yeah, you know what but you know what I'm going for on that.
Yeah, but the problem is, like the 32 pieces thing it's not as well known. Like you say, like, the Judas, and people instantly know what you're going for. If you say the Judas Pact, anybody would know, okay, this ties in with the Judas contract.
Yeah, okay, I can definitely see that. Particularly if you start bringing in like, you can also have Terra play a part, and then it really is the Judas contract.
You know, where it's basically, it's not a spy, but it's someone who corrupts from within. Basically, he's trying to corrupt him. I don't want to ruin like,
or no.
Here's a problem. If it's Terra and it's a Judas Pact, you instantly know what's going on. But if it's Rose, honestly, I wouldn't even have anyone connected with Slade. Wait. What if it's like Jericho or one of his other male sons, and that's who seduces Jon Kent and corrupts him? You know, like not necessarily Jericho, because Jericho's kind of a fan favorite, but I think he has another son that you could bring him, have him be bisexual, you know, for some reason.
Yeah, if we have to stay with the bisexual part.
Yeah, because that way,
you still have the gay icon, and you have the gay icon have a redemption arc.
And it could be like a new person, and then he reveals that he's you know, I gotta look this up. Slade Wilson.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I know Slade. I think Slade Wilson has two kids, two sons.
Grant.
Yeah, you could do Grant.
So, yeah, because Joe Wilson is Jericho, because he's kind of a fan favorite. Turning him by might cause controversy, but Grant Wilson is not that well known. So having Grant Wilson, but also have it not be revealed that he's Grant Wilson until later.
Yeah, exactly. That would 100% work. I dig that. I dig that a lot.
It's like, I never told you my last name, did I? It's Wilson. Yeah,
there you go.
You know, like, and it can be like, you know, after he's fully corrupted him, and then he says it, and Jon Kent does like, oh, okay, your name is Wilson, whatever. but it's more of an oh crap moment for the audience.
Well, but remember, we're trying to give him a redemption arc. We're not trying to turn him fully evil.
But well, the thing is, the storyline is a will he, won't he turn evil? Sure, eventually, sure, at the very end, when he has to make the choice to be evil or not, he chooses to be good. You know, but this is a kind of a temptation of Christ kind of scenario.
That works. Honestly, I like that. That would work.
To where he's getting corrupted, but like the moment that he has the choice to do evil or do good, maybe you have some of the other Titans bring him back. That
works. And then this is where he starts to like, and then again, this is where he starts to like see, because we can make it where he sees the Titans as beneath him because he is Kryptonian and Amazonian. So he's already a powerhouse. And you can imagine if he's from Earth 3, he has a real like ego because he's super powerful. But then eventually he starts to see them more as equals because, yeah, they don't have like godlike powers, a lot of them, like Dick Grayson and all that, but they have other strength.
Can you imagine him interacting with like Cassie, the Wonder Girl on this team?
And like, Donna.
Oh my God, because like they'd be like his sisters.
Yeah. And he's like, oh I always wanted sisters.
This is such a great dynamic because it also really helps other characters, like enriches Donna. It gives Donna and Cassie something to do because like they have, like, you know what I'm saying?
It's like they particularly take him under their wing because they want
to. Donna Troy leading the Titans, and he sends them there to kind of, you know, get some seasoning because like he knows under the tutelage of his big sister Donna.
Yeah, exactly, and his little sister Cassie.
and then also Nightwing's on the team, where it's like, even though he kind of betrayed them, he's like, it's like, you did some bad stuff, but I still care about you. Kind of.
And he's like, this happens all the time on this team, so it's really an average Tuesday, really.
Yeah,
because everyone's always, that works. I love that. So, and I think that's a good place to like not only end the episode but end the storyline, because that actually worked really well. I like that.
Yeah.
And well, obviously this way.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you bring on someone who actually creates comic books for a living.
Yeah, there you go. That way, not only did we de-age Jon Kent, we brought back the young Jon Kent, but we also figured out a way to keep the other one and still have him be like a really cool character.
And he can still be gay or bisexual or whatever.
It makes no difference. I mean, let me this way: even if we like completely killed him off in the war, we could have had it so eventually Jon Kent like eventually became that way. It doesn't matter. In other words, either way, he could still end up being bi. It makes no difference. And on that note, I think we are going to call it. And then, okay, so now there's one more thing I want to do before we end the episode. Our boy Nick is currently working on a Batman-inspired comic book, so I just want to give him the opportunity to plug it real quick. So I'll share the screen. Nick, if you want to get into your project real quick.
Okay. So this is Screecher, and right now I'm currently in the sign-up phase for it. It's going to be launching October 7th, and anyone who signs up will get a free wallpaper, and then they'll get 3 free ebooks when you go on and back the project. Currently, I'm at 22 sign-ups. I'm hoping to get more. So if you go here, sign up, you can be notified when it goes live. Here you can also watch the trailer and whatnot. It's looking to be a really good project. And it does have the Jared for Comics League seal of approval.
And I will put the link to sign up in the description of this episode.
Thank you.
On that note, Nick, it was a pleasure. Thank you for helping me formulate this epic storyline that I could see being like a massive like 3-volume omnibus. Because we could have tie-ins for obviously. Actually, one more thing before we log off. Which books would we tie into this? Obviously, Superman and Wonder Woman. And then one Batman, because you have to have him putting on the suit and like prepping with the spear. Teen Titans, I think Teen Titans would have like multiple tie-ins.
Justice League,
yes, because you could have the entire league starts to like try and intervene, but like Jon Kent is like too powerful.
Maybe Nightwing.
Oh yeah, 100%. Once he starts training in the tower and all that.
Well, the thing for the saga, because like, isn't Jon Kent and Nightwing like really good friends?
I guess so. Yeah, that would work. Well, it's also I think more Damien. You could have a Super Sons thing, and that's for you, Tevia. I know you were gonna put that in the description. We know at this point, Tevia.
We gotta save Shade the Beast.
Yeah, exactly. There's gonna be some Super Sons thing in here. Oh, and then, by the way, the story that comes out after our massive arc is going to be called Return of the Super Sons. Again, because I know Tevia is going to put that in the description. I know.
Well, you just got Tevia's money, so that's all good.
There you go. And DC, give us money. We'll write this for free. Just give us credit. We'll write it.
Money, please.
We'll write it for free. Because think about it. This way you satisfy both sides. You got the people that like Son of Kal-El and the people that like the Super Sons. Everyone gets what they want. So, yeah. So, in other words, obviously, again, Wonder Woman. Maybe Wonder Girl would have a tie-in because it's Donna Troy.
Okay.
And then let's see what else. Obviously, Superboy, because the main book would probably be at least the fight between him and Connor would be in the Superboy book. And then I think that's it, because I don't want to go too crazy like Marvel does on the tie-ins, because I don't want to have, like, he mentions Jon Kent once, tie-in issue.
Oh, you don't want to have a new event every week?
I don't want to have like they did with King in Black, where literally all the 30 books that they were publishing had a tie-in issue.
I mean, you don't want to have to do like a flow chart of what books to buy each week.
Yeah, once you do, if you do that, you have failed as a story writer. I'm sorry.
I thought they would have failed the city. Yes,
exactly. I need that as a drop. You have failed the city. I really do.
You really do.
So, on that note, Nick, it's a pleasure. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And remember, Jon Kent has potential. Stay at work, everyone. Bye-bye.